Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world of Dragons Dogma. We got the reviews out today, and everyone seems to be overjoyed, like absolutely losing it over this game. I was gonna say something else, but we don't need to get demonetized in the first 10 seconds of the video. So, in this video, the goal isn't to tell you exactly what to do to prepare for this mammoth journey or where to go, but more so to inform you of the things that are a bit unique about Dragon's Dogma so you can be fully prepared to go on whatever adventure the game presents to you. So let's start with some things you want to keep in mind when making your character and your pawn. Carry weight is a big deal in this game, and carry weight is affected by a few things, but one of those things that you're going to want to keep in mind when you start out is how big your character or pawn is. The larger they are, the more they will be able to carry before reaching the higher carry weights, which eventually leads to being encumbered, and then if you're encumbered, you're just dead. So if you made your character massive and also a massive pawn, then only ever hired other massive pawns, you would have lots of weight to work with and be able to carry more. Being bigger can also give your weapon a longer reach, and you'll walk faster because you cover more ground with each step. So you may be sitting here thinking, well, why the hell wouldn't I just be big and also make a big pawn? Well, there are also advantages to being small, which I don't ever hear people talking about the advantages of being small. You'll have a smaller hitbox, and you'll be using less stamina than larger characters. These are both incredibly positive things. Running out of stamina sucks. You can't move. A pawn has to come and go, "It's okay, buddy, you'll be all right," and get you to get your stamina back. And having a smaller hitbox is really nice, especially early on, because you are quite squishy. If you get hit a couple times, you're probably going to be dead. So smaller hitboxes are incredibly good. So I personally find that being big or small have pretty equal advantages. It's just about what's more important to you. Personally, I made my character as small as I could, which is technically still taller than me in real life, but she's as small as we can possibly go in Dragon's Dogma 2. And then I made my pawn as tall as I possibly could. So I'll always have someone with me who can carry quite a lot. And then I can hire pawns as well and give some stuff to them. And if I get a big one, they'll be able to hold even more stuff. I really don't think there's any right or wrong way to go about this when creating your own character and pawns, but it's something that you want to keep in mind for sure whilst creating yourself, your pawn, and then eventually when you get to hiring more pawns as well. Next, let's talk about preparing yourself and your party before you head out. For those of you who play Monster Hunter, you can kind of think of this in a similar way in that it is incredibly important to prepare everything to heal you, rest, abilities, upgrades for you and your pawn's equipment, etc. before you head out on any adventure if you want to have the best time and not end up in a very sticky situation or a very deadly situation. And this game is extremely unpredictable in what might get thrown at you, so always being prepared is super important. If you're in a town when you're getting ready to head out, I will always recommend resting at an inn first. No matter what time of day it is, no matter what you just did, I would always recommend resting. This is going to heal everyone up nicely and have your party in the best shape to begin adventuring. Food will go bad if you do not cook it. Now, food going bad isn't always the end of the world. They can end up getting different properties, or you can end up mixing them or doing different things with them when they go bad. But generally, you're going to want to cook your food so that you can have it on you and it will not go bad, because food is something that you can use to heal yourself and your pawns. So make sure that you get your food set up before you head out. You might also want to bring along a camping kit with you. These are very heavy, but they will allow you to set up camp in the wild, which can be life-saving to get everyone rested, everyone healed up, and then you can set out again. So if you end up in a long fight, you're not going to be in a situation where you're super far from town and you're really low, everyone's dying, you're really tired, your stamina's being eaten into super quickly. You have a camping kit that you can set up and get a good rest. Now, it is worth keeping in mind that if you do set up camp, you can get attacked, but it's better to have one on you than to not have on you. Just keep in mind that they are heavy. Lastly, I always recommend checking merchants for equipment that will be an upgrade for you and your pawn. It's really important to keep on top of your pawn's equipment as well. They're not just gonna willy-nilly go out there and start buying stuff for themselves, you are going to have to make sure that you get them their armor and their weapons that are upgraded, up to date, everything's doing good. So check the merchants and see what they have that could possibly be an upgrade. If you are something like an archer, this is where you're also going to want to purchase arrows, because different abilities use different arrows. You have something like an exploding shot, and that requires you to have exploding arrows. So you're going to want to make sure that you purchase those arrows based on the abilities that you plan on using on your adventure coming up. Now, all of this doesn't mean that the game won't absolutely destroy you sometimes, because it will. Like I said, it's very unpredictable. They'll throw a bunch of stuff at you, but at least if you are fully prepared with lots of things to heal yourself, you've cooked your food, your equipment is upgraded, your pawn's equipment is updated, you've got a camping kit, you've rested, you're in the best possible situation that you can be. And always make sure before you head out that you don't head out with a full inventory of things that you do not need. So you can always store your stuff at any inn. Make sure you store things before you leave. Again, carry weight. You gotta make sure you have as much space as you can. Next up, I want to say save all the time. Save constantly. If you do anything, save your game right after you do it. Rest at inns whenever you can, because that will also save your game. Because Dragon's Dogma will save your game automatically during things like quests, but autosaves do not happen at regular intervals during just regular outside in the world gameplay. So you're going to have to manually save if you don't want to end up losing progress. And there's going to be hours that you're not doing any quests. You're just going to be exploring. You find a cave, you go in a cave, you find a thing, you're adventuring. So make sure that you are saving all the time. Get into the habit early and do it often. It's also worth noting, whilst we're talking about saves and data and stuff, that you can only have one save with Dragon's Dogma 2. The game simply doesn't allow you to have multiple saves going on at the same time with different characters. Unless, I guess, if you set up a different profile, you can probably have another character on another profile. But the game just wants you to have one single save. So also make sure that you're happy with your characters before you start the adventure, because starting over from scratch is not as simple as it is in other games. So make sure you're happy with your character, your pawn, get in the game, and save all the time. Next, let's talk about how Dragon's Dogma is really scary. And even if you don't think it's scary, you should always approach everything with maximum fear. I say this because you're very squishy, especially in the beginning. You can get stunned or run out of stamina and get absolutely mauled. You'll get carried off by a wolf, you get grabbed by an ogre, you'll get thrown by an ogre, carried off by another wolf. Shout out to Oro for this footage. It was really funny. I can't wait for this to happen to me. So just respect everything you see when it comes to combat, because this game will always try and catch you slipping. Even if you're fighting goblins and they seem to go down pretty easily, if you end up having more than one goblin hit you at the same time, it's gonna really hurt. Waste your resources or kill you. None of this is good either way. So make sure that you respect your enemies, and definitely be deadly afraid of the night. I would actually recommend that you don't go out at night unless you have a quest that requires you to find something in the nighttime, or you just want to go and explore in the night to see if there's any secrets, because Dragon's Dogma is, one, not afraid of making the game incredibly dark when it's nighttime. Your lantern will help you for sure, but it's still hard to see far in front of you, so you can easily end up walking into an ambush that you are not prepared for. And two, the enemies in the night tend to be extra super duper mean. A good rule in general, just with Dragon's Dogma, is to think of what you would do. I'm talking to you. What you would do if you were to set out on an adventure in a world with your friends, fighting goblins, griffins, skeletons. What would you do to prepare yourself, and what would you tend to avoid? If you can get into that mindset, you'll probably be in a pretty good spot, because I'm thinking I don't want to go out at night where there's no street lights, obviously, and I just have my lantern and the skeletons and ghouls ready to murder me and I can't see anything. I'm going to probably want to go out with plenty of stuff to eat, because I don't want to die of starvation on my adventure. Like, if you adopt that mindset, you'll probably be pretty good, because this game, I like to describe it as the ultimate RPGer's RPG, because you are role-playing as an adventure in this world. So if you think like that, you'll be good. Next, I gotta tell you about pawns. Pawns are friends, not food. I don't know why you'd eat them anyway. I don't think you can eat them, but pawns are friends. Listen to them. They may talk a lot sometimes, but they really do have a lot of useful information. They'll tell you what a foe is weak to if they faced them before. They'll have a lead on where to go for a quest you just picked up. They'll call out chests nearby, and just a wealth of helpful information. So treat them legitimately as friends you are adventuring with, and listen to the advice that they give you or info about the world. It's all super duper helpful. And my last biggest piece of advice I can give is to just take your time. Take your time reading descriptions of things, talking to NPCs in the world, and exploring every corner if you are wanting to find secrets, because this game is absolutely bursting with secrets, challenges, and hidden goodies for you to find. This game is the most perfect example of it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's going to be a very beneficial mindset for you to be in when playing Dragons Dogma 2. Things are going to happen that are not planned whilst you're on a quest, and you need to be able to embrace the chaos and simply let the journey happen, or you might end up getting frustrated with the random encounters. So think of yourself as Friden in the hero party and embrace that adventure. Embrace the road to get there, not just reaching the destination, because you're probably going to also die a lot. So expect for that to happen and learn from it. Maybe you can be more prepared before you leave, or maybe you just learned that this particular enemy that killed you is an enemy that you should bravely retreat from the next time you see them until you get stronger. Just let the journey happen. Enjoy the journey. If something leads you in a completely different direction, go with it. Go and explore. Unless you have a quest specifically that is mentioning something like a kid being kidnapped and you need to go save them. Because this game does use time-sensitive quests, so be careful with picking up a bunch of quests at once. And if you do see that there's anything mentioned about something that could be time-sensitive, just try and stick to that goal and get there. But otherwise, embrace the adventure. Go on a journey. Get lost in the world. It's a world that invites you to explore it. It wants you to explore it. So be prepared. Go and explore, accept the chaos, and go wherever the journey leads you. These are the main things that I could immediately think of to prepare a new player for the world of Dragons Dogma without telling you just do this, do that, do this thing, make sure you do that. Although I guess I did say that a little bit. I want you to experience your own adventure ultimately and the mysteries that you come across, but give you anything I can to make you prepare to just have more of a fun time than ending up dead a lot or ending up frustrated. This is a fairly unique open world RPG experience that really makes you think like an adventurer. So if you can do that, I think that you will have an absolute blast. If any of you guys do have any advice, please do drop it in the comments. Let's help each other out. Let's make sure that we are prepared as a community to embrace the chaos of adventure. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be streaming Dragons Dogma 2 as soon as I possibly can on Thursday, seeing as I'm playing on Steam, and it does launch on Steam a little bit earlier than if you're playing on consoles. So if you want to experience me going through the journey right away, make sure to drop by the Twitch channel. And if you can't, don't worry, because I'm going to be uploading at least the first 3 hours of the adventure directly here to the YouTube channel, so you can see how the game introduces you to the world, how it gets you invested in the characters, and what the opening few hours are. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like. But otherwise, I will see you on stream or see you in the next Dragons Dogma 2 video. Bye!